How many of you constantly get asked what your favorite thing about working at Google is? Whenever I think about it, I get brought back to when I was interviewing here, and I asked my recruiter what his favorite thing was. I know, how cliche. His immediate response was that he felt like he could bring his whole self to work. And as I have gone through my Google experience, that has always stuck in the back of my mind. Am I bringing my whole self to work? And bringing my whole self to work was not something that came naturally. My life has revolved around striving for normal because so much of my life has been anything but normal. On a day that started out so ordinary, New Year's Eve 1999, I was riding up an old fashioned elevator and something caught my eye at the bottom of the elevator shaft. As I looked down to see more, my head got caught between the moving elevator and the elevator shaft, and most of the bones in my face were crushed in the process. After I was life flighted to the hospital, the head of the ER said to my parents, "Her face is gone." It was the worst trauma she'd seen in her career. I was 8 years old, and all I wanted was to be just like every other 8-year-old. Normal was my goal, my surgeon's goal, my parents' goal. I was so determined to get back to normal that I declared that I wanted to be back to school by my birthday just a month later. The doctors thought I was crazy. It was going to be at least 3 months. But no ifs, ands, or buts, I wanted that classroom birthday celebration, sharing brownies with my friends and having that one day where people shared what they appreciated about me. And I got that birthday celebration. I was discharged from the hospital, actually exactly 21 years ago yesterday, a week ahead of time, well enough just to go into school for that quick birthday celebration. But it wasn't what I expected. I mean, my mouth was still wired shut, and I thought things would be the same. Okay, Laura. As any regular third graders would react, there were lots of stares and whispers, but definitely paired with love. I got the act of the celebration, but the feeling wasn't what I had hoped for when I made that declaration. It was the first time I really thought, wow, my life is not going back to what it was. 18 years and 28 surgeries passed by with the goal of getting me back to normal. My summers were split between swim team and surgeries. The first half of my summer was spent swimming with my neighbors, just like a normal kid. The second half would be spent recovering from surgery, anything but normal. Because surgeries were such a common experience as I grew up, pretty much everyone knew what had happened. My drive for normal came from a desire to not receive special treatment because of what I had gone through, but instead because of who I was and what I could do. Was I getting good grades because teachers felt bad for me, or was I actually smart? So I built up walls. I kept what I was going through hidden from even my closest friends. I felt like what I experienced was not any more special than the hard things I saw people going through around me. And each time it was brought up, I felt like it shifted people's perspectives of who I was. I mean, if I had $1 for every time someone said I was strong, I would be Larry and Sergey level. Internally, I translated strong into stoic. I felt like in order to appear strong, I couldn't let people know the emotions I was feeling. And the more I hid my feelings, the more I could protect those closest to me from feeling pain. And if my mom asked me how I was feeling, it was always fine. And sometimes it was. But even when it wasn't, I didn't want to make her feel like there was something she wasn't doing that could take that physical pain away. And then college, that was going to be my shot. Normal was within grasp. No one knew what I had gone through. But then complications with a surgery over the summer before sophomore year caused a hole in my nose, and they weren't sure if the bone would survive. I woke up each morning and put a Band-Aid over my nose. It covered up my hole, but highlighted how not normal my life was. And yet, some of the best support I got was from friends I had just met, willing to drive me to the airport as I headed out for a procedure or just listen to my frustrations. The fact what I was going through was physically noticeable almost made it easier to get help because it wasn't something I could hide as much as I wish I could. Transitioning into the real world was another opportunity. New people to meet so I could prove that I was normal. And yet, as I've grown up, my definition of normality has evolved. When I was young, it was about what I could do. Could I play with friends? Could I act in a play? Could I do what normal kids did? Now, it's about who I am. And with that evolution, normality was not something to strive for anymore because I want to be me. The me that is curious and doesn't take no for an answer has been cultivated by my experiences. Normal is boring. My perspective is unique because no one else has been through what I have been through. Just as you are unique because no one has been through what you have. There's no comparison. We're all individually special. I love this quote from Judy Garland. Always be a first-rate version of yourself instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. I can't change what happened. I can't be anybody else. I had no choice but to embrace what was given to me. It was hard, it was tough, but it made me who I am. And the positive perspective that I had to have in order to get through all of those surgeries and turn it into something positive has been really impactful. We cannot change what has happened in the past, but we can influence this moment and the next moment. I have learned to have empathy for those who have gone through difficult things, but not pity them because that's what I would want. I've learned that life is hard, and those who have rebounded from those difficult challenges are the strongest. It's all about your perspective. Surviving my elevator accident is just as an important part of my story as is the fact I'm a Michigan fan or a world traveler. Those things are a little easier to explain in a quick icebreaker or fun fact session, but in bringing my whole self to work, I want to help facilitate an opportunity for others to share their stories, to be who they are, to feel like you can be loved and accepted for exactly who you are, not who you think you should be. Sharing challenges helps provide a framework for other people when they go through something difficult. It can mirror to them what they see within themselves. Bringing your whole self to work helps break down walls and inspire others to share what has shaped their lives. Those walls that I put up to prove to other people that I was just as strong as they said I was took a long time to come down. To feel like showing emotion showed more strength than being a stoic robot. Because the more I share, the more I can connect with others. It's a work in progress and a choice I continually have to make. But it's become my favorite part about working at Google. The more I'm willing to share myself, the more I get to learn about others. I know every person has something that has shaped them into who they are. I challenge you to explore how you can bring that whole self to work so you too can help others and help yourself. Be you because you can only be the second best version of someone else. Thank you.